You're watching UATV News. My name is Ina Kosinska. Good evening. The deoccupation of Donbass and Crimea, reforms in Ukraine and assistance from Europe. These are the main topics that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy discussed with the Vice President of the European Commission, Josep Borrell. The high-ranking European officer came to Ukraine with an official visit for the first time.
The EU stands by Ukraine, its sovereignty and its people. We are the strongest and more reliable partner of Ukraine in support of an effective reform process for the benefits of all Ukrainians.
The United Nations organization is celebrating its 75th anniversary. Due to the pandemic restrictions, the General Assembly conference has been held online for the first time in history. Heads of states participate in the meeting by means of video calls. The President of Ukraine has also delivered a speech. Our correspondents know the details.
Over its 75 years of existence, the UN has coped with its primary objective, prevention of the Third World War. This was stated by UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres at the opening of the General Assembly. At the same time, he added that there still remain many challenges and threats.
It took 2 world wars, millions of deaths, and the horrors of the Holocaust for world leaders to commit to international cooperation and the rule of law. That commitment produced results. A Third World War, which so many had feared, has been avoided. Never in modern history have we gone so many years without a military confrontation between the major powers. This is a great achievement of which member states can be proud and which we must all strive to preserve.
Aggressive actions of the Russian Federation have shown that humanity has not yet grasped the lessons of the Second World War, said Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In his video message, he called for starting fully implementation of the UN principles.
75 years ago, the founding of UN became the following symbol. The humankind should have learned the tragic lessons of World War II. But occupation of Crimea and military Russian aggression in the Donbass prove that these lessons has not been learned.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel suggested reformation of the UN Security Council. She condemned the frequent use of the veto. Permanent members, namely Great Britain, China, Russia, USA and France, have the right to block decisions and resolutions unilaterally.
The United Nations has too often been forced to lag behind its ideals, as the interests of individual member states have time and again prevented this order from functioning as it was intended. But those who believe that they can get along better alone are mistaken. Our well-being is something that we share our suffering too.
Global cooperation is the key to addressing today's challenges, 19% of people around the world believe. For the 75th anniversary, the UN conducted research in 80 countries. 10% of the respondents want changes in the organization's work. Reported by Nick Starkov, Ksenia Bugay for UATV News.
Russia continues to displace the pro-Ukrainian population in annexed Crimea. The Ukraine's ambassador to the United Nations, Serhiy Kyslytsia, stated. The demographic change in annexed peninsula also became a matter of concern among the UN officials.
The latest resolution on Crimea contains a separate paragraph regarding the demographic change. This is a huge problem. The perspective of total fade-out of the pro-Ukrainian population in Crimea remains real. This is what the occupying country strives for, to push as many people as possible out, both the Crimean Tatar population and any other ethnic minority.
Ukraine sets a new recovery daily maximum. More than 1,700 people have defeated COVID-19 over the past day. 2,884 new cases of coronavirus infection have been reported in Ukraine over the past day. Kharkiv, Ternopil, Odessa regions and the city of Kyiv have been keeping the highest infection rate. Ukrainian health minister expressed concern over aggravations in Zaporizhia. The city held a festival on the past weekend.
There was no need to hold such an event and gather tens of thousands of people who trusted the local authorities at the same venue. The attitude of the citizens raises no issues for me, but I've got questions for the organizers. What you are doing is just absurd and have no other words.
Elections in plain language. The Central Election Commission has launched an online platform where they provide an accessible and short explanation of the norms and laws of Ukraine. By means of videos, tables and tests, it is easy to learn the types of electoral systems as well as new developments in new upcoming local elections. You can also improve the test your knowledge and enhance your knowledge for free on the website.
We will have manuals on what the ballot will look like, how to vote correctly. Since this ballot is new in the upcoming election, for the first time voters will deal with it, so it is very important to explain how to vote correctly, where it is necessary to put a mark for certain candidate and under which number he is placed in the ballot for the political party for which one is going to vote.
Second chance for mothers with many children and single parents. In Kherson region, 2 centers for families in poor living conditions have been created. Our correspondents visited one of these. This is Zlata. She is 1 year old, right, Zlatunya?
29-year-old Lila is a mother of many children. Along with her husband, they're raising 6 kids and expecting the 7th. Their living conditions are rather poor, so every day Lila and her younger ones come to the center.
Now put it like this. Wait, Mommy will help you. We come here to the center to play. I don't have such conditions at my home. We have no water, so I can even wash clothes properly. Instead, we use the services that this center provides.
The social center in the village of Kalinivka was opened on the basis of a former school. While its volunteers are working with children, mothers wash their clothes, as most of the village households have neither washing machines nor running water.
My mother came here, and while she was washing linen, we played with our mates. Then she made some tea for us, and we had breakfast together.
The center is equipped with a kitchen, playrooms, bathroom and a mini gym. New mothers are taught how to cook, take care of children and plan their budget.
We cooked roasts and soups, baked pizza. Kids spent the night here.
There is no school in the village. The children are taken by buses to the neighboring town. After classes, while parents are at work, children play at the center. Inna leaves her son here since the local kindergarten is under quarantine.
He studies here. They write, read. He likes to stay here. I know that he is looked after quite well. I bring the things to iron them here.
11 families are registered in Zelenopodilsk community as dysfunctional. The Second Chance Center was created for them, but there are many more of those who need help.
The first thing we've noticed, there were a lot of children at school and in kindergarten. The children sometimes come dirty, neglected. They have nowhere to go after classes, so they come to the center. I mean, there is no more homelessness for them, so kids don't have to hang about outside doing nothing.
By the end of the year, it is planned to open 2 more centers on the territory of the community. Reported by Nick Starkov, Yanina Lebedeva, Serhiy Temchinsky, Kherson region for UATV News.
Hearing tests for free. In the next 3 months, a mobile audiology clinic will admit patients in the cities of Ukraine. Odessa has been the first one among them. Our correspondent was trying to find out if local citizens had a good hearing.
The mobile audiology clinic is located in the very center of Odessa, near the Duke Monument. 82-year-old Odessa resident Lydia also decided to check if she hears well.
Doctor said everything is fine with my hearing.
The mobile audiological clinic is going to travel over 30 cities of Ukraine. Experts hope that as many people as possible will get their hearing tested. Statistically, every 8th person may develop hearing loss.
People are getting very loud all over the world now, especially youth. They just don't pay any attention to this. They use headphones every day, spend lots of time in noisy environment. And only later they come to realize that something is wrong with their hearing.
For the first half hour of work, hearing impairment was found in several patients. When going to have their ears checked, people often don't realize they are hard of hearing. Doctors say this is why regular testing is important. Today I had 9 patients, and unfortunately 5 of them had been diagnosed with hearing loss. My duty is to give them recommendations and send to specialists if necessary. The mobile clinic will operate in Odessa for the next 2 days. Then it will move to receive patients in the city of Mykolaiv. Reported by Nick Starkov, Anna Gorodentsova, Arsen Podosyan for UATV News.
The National Kryshko Botanical Garden is 85, one of the world's largest collections of plants in Eurasia, as well as rare and endangered species of trees and flowers are presented here. The orchids grown in the botanical garden have traveled into the space. What else the gardeners are proud of, our correspondent will tell.
The oldest botanical garden in Ukraine is located on 130 hectares in the center of Kyiv city. The first greens were planted 85 years ago. The world's largest selection of dogwood and Eastern Europe's most plentiful collection of decorative trees and flowers can be found here.
More than 21 kinds of lilac out of 28 existing ones, about 100 varieties and more than 90 hybrids of lilac. There is also a significant collection of rosemary, over 150 varieties.
Asters, chrysanthemums and dahlias are now finishing blooming in the botanical garden. Not only Kievans come to enjoy them.
We arrived here on purpose from Vinnytsia region, the city of Kozyatyn. We brought children on a tour to admire the autumn botanical garden. We try to visit the garden several times a week. To our family, this is the most favorite place in Kyiv. It is very beautiful here, fantastic nature.
During the lockdown, greenhouses remained closed. Now they are available to visitors. More than 30,000 samples of tropical and subtropical plants are collected here, and there are over 450 types of orchids. By the way, some of them have traveled to the space.
They returned from there and continued to grow, and gave us offsprings. We studied various aspects of their biology and how they can be used in closed systems.
And this is the flora of Madagascar. Botanical garden scientists have been studying succulent plants for many years. They say that soon climate of the southern Ukraine may change to a desert one. Therefore, the experience in the cultivation and selection of cacti will be useful. Reported by Ksenia Buhai, UATV News.
That's all for this hour. More updates on our website, YouTube and Facebook pages. Stay safe and good night.